This is, in a sense, our first introduction, the Sikh community's first introduction to the United States. The irony of that being is that we've been here for over 100 years, but we're making our first introduction now. And I hope that through this tragedy, that the lessons that are learned are that, we must stand together against hate. Sikhism is a faith that originated almost more than 500 years ago. It is now the 5th largest religion with over 25 million adherents worldwide. Some of the main principles of Sikhism are the idea of equality between all mankind, the idea that one must earn an honest living and that one must share those earnings with those less fortunate, and then to always constantly remember the divine in whatever actions they take.
Hansdeep Singh werkt als advocaat voor ICAAD, een organisatie tegen discriminatie. De recente schietpartij in Wisconsin in een Sikh-tempel is volgens hem het gevolg van de steeds toenemende islamofobie in de Verenigde Staten.
It's because we're collateral damage from the climate of Islamophobia that has taken over this country. And the idea of demonizing communities has been extended not only to Muslims, but you've seen Hispanic groups because of immigration reform. You've seen LGBT groups because of the movement towards granting same-sex couples the same rights as other citizens. So there are many communities now that literally have a bullseye on them, and Sikhs just happen to be one of those communities. Some of the misconceptions about Sikhs that have been perpetrated, especially by the media, is this linkage between those who manifest their faith, or those who have turbans and those who have beards, with being extremists or terrorists. When you constantly get video images flashed in your face of those Taliban members or Al-Qaeda members who wear turbans and beards, and that's the only representation that this country is getting of those who wear turbans and beards are extremists or terrorists, what is that going to signal to the rest of society? And I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that those who manifest their faith are extremists or hold extremist or violent views. This was an act by someone who's been affiliated with hate-based organizations and who specifically targeted a group that was different. Now, it could have been any minority group, but it just happened to be a Sikh group, but it was still targeted. And that targeting of hate needs to be stemmed. And how do we do that? We can only do that if there's a national dialogue that reduces the vitriolic language that we've seen that tends to demonize communities, rather than having an intelligent discussion or agreeing to disagree on topics where there's contention.